fundamentally believe that when we learn how to notice the prison of our mind that's keeping us from living in authenticity, when we notice that, we can then make the choice to allow that prison to dissolve. It's as if we're all in the prison of our mind, and there's bars and bars and bars, and there's 4 walls, but the jailer never locked the door, and we're all waiting for permission to leave the cell. We are in a cell, but the door is not locked, and we're all waiting for somebody to come around and open the door, but it's not closed. All we have to do is walk through it. That's the great revelation. I had this experience when I was driving in traffic today. This was really interesting. I noticed this. I pulled up to a 4-way stop sign, and there was another guy that was sitting at the 4-way stop sign when I arrived. And he was just sitting there, doing nothing. And then as soon as I pulled up and came to a complete stop, then he decided to go. It's as if he was sitting there at the stop sign, waiting his turn. But there was nobody else there to take a turn. He was just waiting. And then I came up, rolled to a complete and utter stop, and then he went, because my stopping gave him permission to go. And we all seem to be living in this perpetual state of asking for permission all the time. We all feel like we need somebody else's permission to be ourselves, to do the thing that we really want to do. We're always looking to external people to give us permission to do it. We don't need anybody else's permission. Just do it. And when you start to see these kinds of thoughts and how they're manifesting in your life, you'll start to see evidence for it everywhere. And then we can choose to make the choice to change that. When we see the behavior, we can change it. If we don't see it, we can't change it. I really believe that this type of understanding is the thing that can allow us to treat each other better, treat ourselves better. That's the thing that can save the world, is when we stop and notice the thoughts that are controlling our behaviors and realize they don't have to control our behaviors anymore. We don't need permission from anybody to do what we want, just do it. And the more time that we spend in meditation asking ourselves these questions, why am I doing what I'm doing? And not being afraid of the answers, not being afraid of our own truth. There's that little voice in your head that talks to you all the time. It has your answer. But so many of us are conditioned to ignore it. But the person that we're looking for permission from is ourselves. That little voice in your head, he's giving you permission all the time, or she, but we're ignoring that voice constantly. We're looking for permission from another person, and all the while we are giving ourselves permission all the time, and we're saying, no, that's not the permission I'm looking for, I want it from somebody else external to me. Why? Maybe it doesn't matter why. It's part of the cultural disease, zeitgeist, that we think that we're not good enough. That we can't give ourselves permission to do the thing that we really want to do, but we can. And when we do give ourselves permission to listen to the little voice inside our head, which is speaking the truth all of the time, when we listen to that voice and live in accordance with that voice and give ourselves permission, then we show up for our lives. And we become true individuals, actively engaged with the world around us. And if you ask 100 people, are you happy with the state of the world right now? 100 of them will say no. There's something wrong that they would want to change. Well, what is that you want to change? Because you're the only one that can change it. You can't look to anybody else that can change it. If there's something that you've identified that you don't like, change it. And if you can't change it, accept it. Don't complain about it. And if you don't know what it is, that you would want to change about the world, but you just feel like so many of us feel all the time? That there's just something beyond the veil that we can't see that we want to change and we don't know what it is? That's the time to sit in meditation and ask yourself honestly, what is that thing that I want to change and how can I change it? And then we show up as authentic people for ourselves and for everybody else around us in our lives that we meet. So, thank you all for coming to the meditation class. I truly believe that when we take time for our minds to relax and be present in the moment, we gain a sense of clarity that our fast-paced, automated world where we're always asking for permission does not allow us to be truly at peace. When we meditate, we achieve a small measure of internal peace, and only from a place of self-acceptance and peace and love can we possibly go out and be the change that we want to see in the rest of the world. Namaste.